Hello YouTube, RJ. Today we're going to pick up where we left off in the HP 428B restoration video. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, you might want to jump back to last week's video and catch that first. Okay, I'm back. I've got the old one set up. Probably put his leg down, maybe make it easier to see. Okay, so this is the original one I got. It hasn't been cleaned up. I've got it on. I've got everything powered up to like 20 volts. I'll bring it up just a little bit more. A little over 20 volts. And I'm going to turn on the dim bulb tester, see what happens. Don't see anything on the dim bulb. Okay, so we're pulling 0.2 amps, 4 watts. So I'm going to start bringing up the voltage some. Watching my dim bulb closely. About 40 volts there. No dim bulb indication. About 50 volts, no dim bulb indication, pulling 13 watts. So I'm pulling more, I think, than I was at this point. Give everything a minute, kind of get some current in some tubes and stuff. Okay, come up to about 70 volts there. I've got an indication on the power already. Pulling 21 watts. There's 90 volts. Bright power indication. Oop, action. Hey, we got something going on here. Gonna go ahead and bring it up to 120 volts. Got some dim bulb going on here. Pulling 50 watts. To 120 volts, I'm pulling 55 watts at 0.45 amps. And I've got some dim bulb, not real bright. I've got some needle indication. I got some control. And let things just warm up like this for a minute. Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the power, bypass the dim bulb. We'll try it at full current. Okay. Let's move the power from the dim bulb, off the dim bulb, get the dim bulb out of the way. Okay, 120. Bring it down just a little bit to 120. All right, see what happens now. Power indication is really bright. I'm pulling 59 watts, kind of in the ballpark what I kind of would expect. There goes full display all the way back. That's good looking. That looks good. Question is, do we have any? This one at least has some life to it. Just for giggles, I've got this rigged up here on the bench where I can put this cable in. I can turn on my power supply. I've got my 34401 here set up on DC current, and I can put a couple hundred milliamps through it. Hey, it's reading something. That's good. Now, that should be full scale, and I can adjust it a little here. So it's not accurate in any way, but I've got 297 milliamps according to the meter, and I'm on the 300 scale. I'm liking that. I'm showing a little under 100 milliamps. Let's turn the current up just a little bit. Current goes up, well, there's half an amp right there. So that should be pegged out. reading in the ballpark of, well, no, it's not. There's around 200 milliamps, and it's reading on 300. It's reading, oh, what are we looking at here? 1, 10, 20, 30, 40 milliamps. So accuracy is like out the window now, but it is working. I also can't zero it, so we know that there's calibration of some kind of issue going on here. It's definitely detecting current. Oh, I got it the wrong way. Yeah, it's detecting current. All right, so we got to get in the manuals about calibration and what to test and everything, get this thing open. And it's time to get into repairing or adjusting. So do you think we might have a working probe? So we may be halfway out of the woods. So let me jump out. I'm going to need to tear this thing apart, do a little research and stuff. I'll pick you up a little bit later. Well, we're back working on the 428B. So here's what's happened. I went ahead and I've opened this thing up. I checked every tube. I found a very weak tube in it. I went ahead and went through the other one. It turns out it had some of the same tubes. Found a good one from it, swapped it out. Still have basically the same operation. So I pulled up the manual, done a little reading, and I'm starting through the calibration process. So at this point, we know we've got good tubes in the unit. And now we're going to do calibration, if you will. See if we can align it, or alignment really, see if we can get this thing to read correctly. So anyway, I'll pop up here and show you in the manual. One of the first checks is we've got to check some power supply stuff. It says connect a DC voltmeter to pin 1 of V9. I've done that. And to ground, which I'm on chassis ground, which is same. We're looking for 272 volts plus or minus 6 volts. Adjust R9 here if you don't have that. Okay, so you can see over here, I've got nothing at the moment. Let's kick it on and see what we see. All right, I'm 310 volts, so I'm absolutely more than 6 volts out. Although it's kind of bouncing around. Let's give it a minute. Maybe it's going to settle in. It's getting awful close. Jumped the gun a little there, I think. And it's settling right at 272. I don't think we're going to need to adjust this. That's good. Don't need to worry about that. So that calibration is good. So let me go read the next section. I'll come back and we'll set up and see what we can do on the next part of it. Okay, the next step in the procedure is to mechanically zero the meter. So they wanted this to warm up for about 20 minutes. I've done that now. And the instructions say after 20 minutes of warm up, turn it off and allow 30 seconds for the capacitors to discharge. Then they want you to turn all the way to get the needle to the left and then come back to the right till you hit 0. And then they want you to just back off to where you release the fork in there. So let's see if we can get this. Okay, we're going to give it 30 seconds to let the capacitors all discharge. Okay, it's been 30 seconds now, so I'm going to use my little ceramic screwdriver here. It's already to the left. Let me see if I can turn it any more that way. Yep. I'm going to start coming back. I've tilted it up where I've got good viewing of it. I'm bringing it up till it just hits 0 right there. I'm ever so slight going to back off. Okay, right there. That's the mechanical setting. So let me go read a little bit more and see what we do next. All right, I'm back. Went down a rabbit hole. Turned out that manual was, of course, as I said, for the newer model, the other one. And there was a backdated section in the back I was going off of, and things just weren't making a lot of sense. So I went online, did a little research, stumbled back up on HP Archives. What a great website. If you're not familiar with them, they keep all the old HP documents and stuff. Great resource. And I found the manual for this unit. So far, we've already done the power, we checked the power supply. We believe we did it correctly, but in here they wanted you to ground the base of a transistor, Q1, which is up here on this board. I've got on the base and I've grounded it to the chassis. And then they want you to connect to any of the red terminals on 420 board 420B75F, which is this very back power supply board back here. And so I've got my meter grounded. I'm coming over here and looking, and I've got a bunch of red wires, and I see one of them hooks right here and hooks into this resistor right here. So I'm going to clip on there. And according to this, that's where I should be checking for 272 plus or minus 6. And I'm expecting to get it because we saw it in the other one. We were reading it a different place, but for whatever reason, in this manual, it's different. So we're going to make sure we've backed it. We're going to do that. And then there's a bunch more with the power supply they have you check. And this one, on the other one, they didn't, because I guess because the power supply changed quite a bit. So now we're going to power up. And as we learned before, don't get excited until it warms up. It's 315 right now. There she goes, coming down. 374, or 274, I mean. 273 still coming down. I think we're going to hit our target, just like before. Yeah, she's settling in 272.58. That's perfect. You got plus or minus 6 volts, so we're well within that. So we can build the power there. It says if there's no voltage, we're not worried about. We have voltage. With Q1 still grounded, it is. Check voltage on the 12 volt bus at pin 2 of V11. Okay, so we got to find V11. Get up here where I can see. V11. 9, 10. V11 right here. So we want pin 2 of V11. So we need to move from here. And I'm going to have to find, grab a little light, more light right here. Okay, we need pin 2 right here. Can we get on that good and safe? No. I have to go to a different clip. Now I got her. All right. We'll verify we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Still ground on Q1. We are. Check for 12 volt bus at pin 2 of V11. And we are on V11. We are on pin 2. So let's see what we get. It should be 12 volts plus or minus 1. See where we settle in at. 11.43 right now. We're obviously within specs because we're going up, getting closer and closer to 12 volts. There's 11.5 volts. Still going up. Wonder how high it's going to go. I guess I'll take a moment and watch and see. Okay, if not, we needed to check CR10 or Q1, but we are within specs there. With Q1 still grounded, check the voltage on the minus 7 volt bus. Lower terminal of bottom diode on edge circuit board nearest front panel. This voltage should be minus 7 plus or minus 1 volt. Okay, this is slowing down. It's about 11.54955. 11.55, well within spec. So we're going to go with that. We've got to find this terminal. Okay. Lower terminal diode. Edge circuit board nearest front panel. Assuming here. Turn it around where I can get to it. Look at it. Or are they talking about this one? So I'm going to have to Voltage on the 7 bus, lower terminal of bottom diode on etched circuit board nearest front panel. Well, they may be talking about this front, this one, or that one. So I've got to figure out where they're coming from. Give me a minute. Let me research a little, try to figure out what they're talking about. Be back. I'll get set up and we'll test that. All right, I think I've got it figured out where this negative 7 volts is supposed to be. It is this board here up to the front, and bottom, they mean the bottom of the meter, not the way we've got it laid. On this diode, CR9, and we're going to take our voltage from there and see what we end up with. So let's go ahead. We're rigged up. We've still got Q1 gate grounded as required. Yep, there we go, 6.5. We got to be within 1 volt of 7. That's -7. We're -6.58 and climbing. So I'm going to call that good. So with the 12 volt and 7 volt bus set to their correct voltages, okay, recheck the voltage on we haven't changed anything. Adjust the voltage if necessary. Don't need to do that. Connect the variable voltage power line source to the 110 input. Vary the input voltage from 103 to 127. The DC voltage should not vary more than plus or minus 2 volts. If it does, replace V9, V10, or V11. So basically, I've got to get my variac set back up. Need to watch the 272 volts again. So I'll get all that rigged back up and we'll do that test. So be back.